you might have to come up a little bit closer when we're doing this, but we'll just wander around. If you stand in front of Sharon, she's likely to push you out of the way because...
Yeah, you do that.
Yep, good. Okay.
You've got to switch it.
Sorry?
I've just got to
Yep, okay. Well, what we'll do, who owns Opto Electrical? Who owns that? Opto Electrical. Oh, good. So do you mind if we pick on you? You good? Broad shoulders? Terrific, okay. So we're going to bring that up.
John, there's some stools up there.
Oh, okay, some stools. Yeah, if you don't mind, your name is... Do you want to pop up here and we'll interrogate, talk to you? And I'll give you that microphone so you can have a chat to us on that. So what we're going to do is have a look at your website, which is Opto Electrical, and we're just going to make some comments on it because I think everybody appreciates, don't they? And by the way, whoever's watching this on Facebook Live, welcome. How are you? We'll probably do the Facebook Live for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, Darren. Will that be right? And let me just introduce my good friend here, Darren. Okay. That's enough on him anyway. So what we're going to do here is get Darren and myself to make comment on this particular website. And Dietrich has been kind enough to well, we didn't volunteer, we just picked him. Can I just ask you, Dietrich, can you tell us what the business is all about? We know it's an electrical business, but who's your target audience? Nice and close, nice and close.
Electrical contract.
Hang on, we better get a microphone up. Are you ready? Okay, yeah.
It's an electrical contracting.
You're going to have to, sorry, Dietrich, you're going to have to click that button in the center.
Yep, you're right.
It's an electrical contracting business helping commercial industrial people save money on their electrical bills. That's the bottom line.
Okay.
We've got some technological devices that we use to get to that point.
So therefore, we're talking commercial and industrial. You don't do Betty Bankstown's home, so you don't do, yeah, okay. And so you're zeroing in on proper businesses, both in the industrial and just regular office buildings?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, what we'll do is it will scroll down. Can we scroll?
Yeah, I can control it if you like.
Okay, okay.
If you don't mind, Darren, yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry, okay. Right, yeah, so therefore this is the home page of the website. Let's just stop there for a minute. Opto Electrical is your experienced local electrician. You can count on for any service. This is how it looks at the moment on the home page. We haven't distorted that because we've played with it. This is how it looks, isn't it, on the home page? Okay. Opto Electrical integrated, we're integrated, we make sure to cater for your comfort, convenience, security. We assist building and business owners regarding electrical and lighting layouts for their projects. With a solid background of more than 20 years experience in the electrical industry, we understand electrical needs. We could play electrical bingo here, couldn't we? Because there's a lot of electricals in there. Whether you require blah, 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 blah. Okay. So I've read that pretty fast, but who's got hard nipples? Nobody, okay. Because what we're doing here is Dietrich has concentrated on something that begins with F. The features, okay, he hasn't concentrated on the benefits. And if I just scroll a little bit further down, these are all iStock photos of, obviously people yeah. Okay, so can we just pop up here, if you don't mind? Yeah, okay, so we offer expert advice on the following: energy for Australia, power factor correction. Told me, I've always been looking for a power factor connection. Does anyone know what that is? Okay. Voltage optimization, I need that. I don't know what it is, but I need a bit of optimization of my voltage. And energy efficient lighting designs and upgrades, I think we all know what that is. But would you agree this is Chinese and that's Chinese? For normal, regular people who aren't electricians? More innovative. By the way, I haven't seen this website before, so therefore I'm not like I saw this last night and gone through it, because I just said to the girls, look, pick some, would you, for goodness sake, and pick the very worst one. I'll pick anything. Okay, they're more energy, okay, let's get in touch. Is that it? Because it could be a massage parlour. Could you just scroll down? Is that the end of it there? Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it could be very much like a massage parlour, because you get happy endings too, don't you? So yeah, fix your electricity problem. Okay, so who wants to make a comment now that you've learned what you've learned this morning in terms of what should be on homepages of the website? Anyone want to make a comment on that? That just really make Dietrich feel bad.
Just more about the customer, more about what the customer he can actually, and we were actually talking about this over lunch.
Great, well done. Yeah, good stuff. And you're right, by the way. Yeah, and you, who was that?
Yeah.
Nice and loud, guys. Nice and loud.
What are the benefits that the customer will have actually?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Yep.
What Dietrich described his business as sounds very different to what is on the page.
On the page, good point. Yeah, so maybe there's not a good message to market match there.
It doesn't say you're going to save money.
Yeah, great.
I mean,
Okay,
I
that's
thought you're going to save people money with their electricity.
yep.
You haven't said that once.
That
I'm
is
going to
a-
save money with my electricity.
You know
You
what?
said optimisation, but I'm not quite sure what that means.
That's what annoys me. What really annoys me, Gary, is that the $64,000 winner here is Alan. Okay. And he's not going to let me forget now. Oh, I'm the smartest guy in the room, you know. Okay. Bloody accountants. Anybody else want to have a shot? Yep. Nice and loud.
More textual, and it should be like visualized.
Too much text and there should be more
Yeah.
pictures?
Yeah.
Yep. Good.
Also, just on that last one,
Oh, gee, you're going to go again now.
yeah.
He's really booting into you.
get in touch. Just doesn't, like you said, it could be anything other
Yeah.
than.
If you want to save 80% on electricity, then you should contact us.
There's no
now.
call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got a call to action,
Yeah.
right? Is there
Yeah, get in touch. It's
He
like,
was just involved.
they could get in touch with themselves.
Yep. Another website.
I thought I'd take it away from you.
Yeah. You're impressing me. It could be the Dazza. What's your name?
John.
It could be the Dazza, JD, and John show, which would go out there. Yeah. And Alan, we bring Alan along because he's got the odd good idea, but the very odd one. Yeah.
You can save some money.
Yeah. No, they would say to everyone, I was just to insult them like the Borat movie. You not so much. No. Okay, so therefore, Dietrich, can I ask you, what is the biggest benefit that you provide to any of these people? I think Alan's probably on the money, all jokes aside, is that you save them money, don't you? Yeah. And is there a percentage that normally, is it like a norm, you would normally save people 20 or 30 or whatever?
It's a difficult question, is how long is a piece of string? But it varies from anything from 20 to almost 65%.
So you've had some 65%, have you?
Yep.
Okay, so if I was to redraw this for you guys, and he has had a 65% reduction in electricity, but he's had lots of 20s and 30s, who votes that our headline would probably have the 65% there? You see, real estate agents who are really weird people, as I said there before, because they sell ghost houses without any human ever having been in them, because there's no one in the kitchen or in the pool. The crazy part about it is that they will, if you ask a real estate agent now, how long would it take to sell a home, they might say, 84 days is our average. Well, that's no good, that's like 20%. And I say, that's not an Elvis found headline. We're looking for an Elvis found headline. So one particular guy who's a member of our program, and he might be watching this on Facebook, Mark Battersby, commonly known as Bats, and Dickhead. I said to him, listen, have you ever sold a home in 2 weeks or within a month? He said, yeah. I said, good, there's your headline. Would you like your home sold within 17 days? Because I've done that. The moment he did that, back the truck up. It's all over, okay? Now, I've only worked with Seinfeld once. I'm going to milk the crap out of that for the next 1,000 years, all right? And so I didn't do that every day of the week, but who do you think's going to get attention from me when I'm marketing? You know, the Beatles, Paul McCartney, we went to see Paul McCartney in Brisbane here, I don't know, 18 months ago. Do you think he sang any of the songs that weren't a hit? Now, the Beatles had some pretty good hits, didn't they? But, yeah, he sang all the hits. But I tell you what, even Paul McCartney, with the hit rate that he has, he's got some records that didn't sell. Did he highlight them, or did he sing Obodi Oboda? Of course. So you've got to pick the 65%, not the 20, and make a big deal out of it. Point taken?
Yeah.
Good, well, I'm going to go now, so thank you. Okay, so therefore, in the website, homepage that we have here, okay, so therefore you've got your normal, you know, your menu bar and what have you. It'd be something like, this is owner of commercial service, owner of, I don't know, give me one of your clients, what would like a normal building like this, not an industrial, but...
Hotel.
Yeah, oh, Novotel Hotel.
Yeah.
Good, okay, so this is Fred Nurks from the Novotel Hotel, okay? And he's a manager of the hotel, and industrial, like a factory? Fred from Fred's factory. Okay, so the Novotel Ho guy, he says here, amazing, and just, how long do you take to do your David Copperfield shit? What do you do? 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Don't get too excited over this.
To do the actual work is only 1 day.
1 day? Fantastic, okay. So amazing, in just 16 hours, and name the business again is? sorry? Okay. In just 16 hours, this electrical wizard saved our hotel 65% on its power bills, okay? And that equates to $192,740. Who thinks that headline is going to get your attention if you've got a high-rise office building? Of course it is. Because he's now David Copperfield. He's no longer Dietrich. So you are now David, okay? Because he's worked his magic. He's worked his magic, okay? So we don't want to know about the 20%.
So is that a great hook now?
Yes.
Right? What's the first thing? Great hook.
Dead right, dead right. And that could be either him or it could be him in a combination. I mean, if you split this thing here, it could be the industrial guy over here saying much the same thing. You know, you saved him 200 grand, you saved him whatever it might be. The percentage, though, is always important if you can get it out of them to turn into dollars, okay? Because I can say to anyone here, look, I've increased your business. If I stood up here and said, oh, I've just increased Fred Noakes' business with my Wow Factor marketing, and Dazza came in and had them write a book, and we increased their turnover by 50%, then, you know, you could sit there and go, oh, yeah, well, they were doing $100 a year last time, they did $150, big deal. But if I actually say to you, no, that meant, like, you know, $1.x million, then it's real, okay? So the percentage, be careful with that percentage, always try and put a dollar number against it. Alan, for example, in the accounts business, he gave an example of a company making $3 million in profit. They were going to pay $1 million in tax. He got them down to 260 or 278,000, something like that. That's real. That's really powerful. Yeah. So therefore, what would happen then is that after we've done that, I've taken up too much space here because I'm doing it on the run, but let's just say that's the case. Then what we would do is that we'd have a welcome video and explain the video, okay? And the headline here would be something like, you won't believe how easy it is to save this sort of money, and it'd have a watch here sort of thing. And that watch here then would be either you or a spokesman for the business saying, you know what, we are, you know, probably unique. Nobody wants to deal with a Me Too, okay? Do you reckon you guys would be here, if, you know, if Darren and I hadn't promoted that we're, you know, a couple of the best marketing guys in town, and we said we're the 28th best marketing guys in town, I think you'd be looking for the other 27. So, you know, we think that we're pretty unique with the stuff that we've got, and I haven't come across anyone that does this shit. If I did, I'd employ them, because I wouldn't have to run around doing this on a Saturday, then I could mow the damn lawn. But you don't find it too often. You don't find you'll find a Facebook expert, and you'll find a website expert individually, and you'll find a video company, and you'll find some copywriters. So you won't find it all under the one circus tent. They don't exist, all right? That's why I think we can put food on the table, because it's a bit different. It's very different. So if you're unique, then you want to make sure that you highlight that. Alan, I know, is unique in a number of ways, but and accountancy is one of those. So therefore, he will promote himself as being unique. How many people have looked after Kerry Packer's books? Not many, you know. And so therefore, in your instance, if I could ask you, are you unique? I mean, there's many people getting these sort of results in your game?
I'm not the only one. There's more.
Okay, we just put a pin in that balloon. So,
But you can still say that he's unique.
sorry?
Can't you still say that he's unique?
He can lie, of course.
What I'm saying is, because what his competition companies are,
Yep.
are mostly the energy providers. They have consultants
Yep.
who actually will do that.
Yep.
So he's unique in the sense of
You might want to get close, Gary, because you won't hear that otherwise, mate. So,
he's
in your own time, maybe it's fine.
He's unique in the sense of he can offer the whole package. He doesn't necessarily focus on only the energy efficiency,
Bingo.
because he focuses mainly on reducing the electrical demand, and then and then he can also take it a little bit further to do the layout and preventative maintenance of the factory.
You are going to do the video, okay? Because Dietrich comes across a bit shy. Yeah.
That was really good, because you're finding the story behind, you know, of why that makes him so great. That's what we said about before. You know, find the story behind that. You know, how many years have you been in the electrical industry?
All my life.
Yeah. So, but how many years is that? 20, 30 years?
28 years.
So over the last 28 years, he's been finding and defining the small things that make all the big difference to be able to get amazing results, you know, where you can save up to 60%, blah, 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 which is unique. That, you know, with that expertise. So we're making, you know, you're becoming the expert so that people want to learn and listen to you and get your advice. So again, hook, story, offer.
Darren's spot on, absolutely spot on. And with that Facebook Live, because I've got Gary Hobley doing it for me, could you not concentrate on this side here? There's a few wrinkles just there. Go on the other side if you don't mind. Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, back to you, Dick. I forgot. Yeah. So therefore, what you also want to do here, mate, is that you want to capture. What do you starts with D? You want to capture data. Okay. So therefore, you would have a free report here, and it would be see how we can actually save you dollars. Download the free report on the 3 biggest mistakes that most commercial and industrial businesses make when they're trying to save on power. Now you'd know what that would be. They go with the cheapest operator. They go with someone that doesn't have your credentials and whatever it might be, right? And then what you do is that when they actually click here to download that, it goes through to a page and it gives them an instant download of your little 2 or 3 page report, which means you've captured their data. So you've gone from a prospect to a warm prospect. And when you get to that stage, it only needs to be 2 or 3 pages. It's free, for God's sake. They can't complain, right? Just like you guys can't here, by the way, because you came here for free, and if you don't like what you're seeing, well, we've got a money-back guarantee. So, so therefore, then once you've got them as a warm prospect, that's when you come in for the kill, because then you would say, well, listen, you've downloaded the free report on the 3 biggest mistakes people make when they're trying to save on commercial premises and power. But guess what? We'd like to give you a free assessment, which I'm guessing you do anyway. I mean, it's just a quote, for God's sake, but you're sexing it up. Because at the moment, I'm sure if someone rings you up and says, oh, could you quote on save again? Well, of course you do it for free. We all do it for free. But this gives you the opportunity to turn it into, starts with T, and then the other word is H, E, A, T, R, E, theatre. Thank you, Gal. Only been married me for like 38 years or something. 33 years. Yeah, no, you just spoiled the whole thing. Go and do a spreadsheet or something. So therefore, that gets the contact details, and then you turn that contact details on. And down here, I'm going to draw a couple of things here, and like that. And the headline here is, don't take our word for it. What do you think is in each one of these panels here? I'll make it easier.
Starts with T.
Testimonials.
Testimonials, but starts with V before the T.
Video testimonial.
No, just very good testimonials. So it's video testimonials. Now, why do you want video? You can't answer it because you'd be biased. Why do you think you want video testimonials and not just written testimonials? Anybody want to take a stab at that?
More believable?
Yep. More believable? Yep.
They're authentic customers.
Authentic customers, and dead right. Look, video has been, depending upon what you want to look up in Google, but it's 10 times at least more powerful than text. And we just don't want that. We don't have time to read text. And look, we've done some heat mapping, and as I said there this morning, on lots and lots of clients, and no one looks at your testimonial page. And if it's written testimonials, they know that you could have made it up and put Benny Bankstown's name at the bottom of it. But if it's a real video testimonial, they're moving their hands and they're going, oh, Diedrich was fantastic, he came in and he did this, that and the other, and so it's very emotional, and you want them to be like that, okay? Preferably, I always try and get video testimonials from Italians, because they used to do that.
People can also pick up through the video if it is a true one or not.
Yeah.
They've done studies of people showing videos and that sort of stuff. But
it's pretty hard to fake it, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty hard to fake it. I mean, I've got 38 video testimonials, I think, on my website, and you can't give away 38 cartons of Crown Lager, can you? I mean, you can call somebody that may be doing the odd one, but you just can't keep on getting 38 video testimonials.
And when you're building yourself up as the expert, in his case here, he's been doing this for 30 years, all right? So in that 30 years, how many miles or kilometres of electrical cable have you ran, right? So you go back and you say, well, okay, over that time I probably ran, 3,000 kilometres worth of electrical cable. So you can even add that to the whole spiel of his credibility. It's like, okay, he's done this. And in real estate, if you're in real estate, how many doors or houses have you gone to open inspections and knocked on to find the right properties? So you look for your credibility and you expand on that, because you've been doing what you've been doing for years, right? But you turn that into actual something that people can identify with. They go, oh yeah, wow, he's laid 3,000 kilometres of electrical cable. So in your head you're going, geez, this guy probably knows what he's doing.
So you're saying Diedrich should make a big deal out of how much he's laid?
I don't know if I should answer.
Is that your wife? Yeah. Okay, well, I probably wouldn't go along with that then. But yeah, but a good idea. So therefore, what Daz is saying is that, pick something that's going to be headline status, like, 4 million miles of cable have been laid by this guy over 30 years. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, good point. Now, big question. We want to find out from Dietrich, not who his target audience is, but his most profitable. Is that you again, Gav?
Sorry, I
Could
know
you,
too
there's
well.
the reserve bench over with the other girls that have been,
She was
pushed
trying to
over.
hide behind me and make me say it.
Yes.
That's why I'm standing next to the pole.
Yeah, good point. So therefore, we're after your most profitable customer. So who is your most profitable customer? Is it the Novotel manager or is it someone in a factory?
It'll be the
And
business owner.
The
Business owner.
The business owner, okay. And you're saying that they're most profitable, the easiest to get an answer from, because if it has to go to a board and a committee and all that sort of stuff, you guys know what that's about, then it could take forever and you could be dead. So therefore, not that that's not going to happen soon, but not that again it might, but the thing is that you want the owner, because the owner can make a decision quickly?
Quickly, yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the most profitable, but rather the quickest. Okay, right, yeah. And would that be more likely industrial or commercial?
It's both ways, doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you say that, but what we generally do, Dazza and I, we will interrogate and say, no, that's not good enough, because we want to spend your money in the right spot, okay? So therefore we'd say, no, it's impossible for it to be 50-50. That'd be like a freakish occur. So would you say, no, we'd probably make more money seriously out of industrial?
Yeah, there's more opportunity in the industrial arena.
Okay. So therefore you'd like us, if we were doing your marketing for you, to concentrate on the industrial?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, okay. But you see why I laboured that point, because it's so easy for all of us to go, we just get it from anywhere. Yeah, when in fact, for me, for example, it's easier, and Darren would subscribe to this, I'm guessing, the easier client for me is going to be a white collar client. So it's going to be a doctor, it's going to be a dentist, it's going to be an accountant, well, that's an exception, but they're going to be the easiest, because guess what, they're into feeding their brain all the time. They go to seminars and conventions and they've got a business plan, if not a marketing plan, and they're probably marketed before and screwed up, and they want to fix it. So it's easier for me to sell drugs to a drug addict than to someone who's ever been on drugs. So it's easier to sell to someone who's screwed up their advertising than someone who's never advertised. And guess what? Electricians and plumbers and builders, they don't tend to advertise a lot. They do their business through referrals or just having a beer at the pub on Friday afternoon. So for me to actually get them on board and get them to get out of the way and let us fix it, it's harder. Whereas, I'll have a $9 million turnover dentist come on board and go, you know what, I've just wasted so much money on Facebook and social media, can I just get it out of the way and just fix it? You don't find that as often with blue singlet industries, because they just haven't advertised before, so they want to meddle into things and get involved. So that's why I'm asking you this, because you want to pick the easy clients. The clients that Darren and I are not really looking for are life raft clingers. And Sharon, you'd be the same, in your game. And the worst client in the world is a life raft clinger, because our first Facebook camp better work or they're out of town. I don't really want that pressure,
I have to say, it's not easy to market to that audience of theirs, because, and I'm not, I'm just going to call a spade here. Australians in average, your business owners, your factory owners, they don't really believe in preventative maintenance or prevent, to save money or whatever. They do the Band-Aid thing.
Yep.
He has customers that he had offered them a whole maintenance plan. He was willing to do that over December for them.
Yep.
To save them money in the long run. I mean, obviously he makes more money off them going every time.
Yep.
But they weren't interested.
You know why, but because Dietrich's not future casting. So when you're selling a grudge purchase product, which is insurance, for example, which is sort of like what you're doing, you've got a future cast. So when I look after an insurance company, I've looked after some of the big ones. The most recent one will be Real Insurance. You'll see all my ads on TV every daytime. It's the working class they've also, therefore, it's not the TV ads are going to be Kmart, they're not going to be David Jones, but we'll future cast in order to get them across the line. And the dad and daughter ad would probably be a good one to play, but so therefore, I'll just repeat that, the dad and daughter one.
No, Greg's getting it.
So the thing is, dad and daughter one. So what we'll do is we'll have mum and dad, boy, girl and Labrador at the front gate, and dad disappears. He goes, the ghost off. Then, shoring up and get life insurance. Or you can't sell home and contents insurance without the house burning down. Or a guy with a balaclava about to, basically break in and steal your children. So the thing is that you have to future cast if you're going to sell grudge purchase items. And I'm somewhat an expert at it because I've had so much insurance. So in this instance, you've got to do the same thing. You've got to future cast what life will be like if they don't take him up on his growth. And that's obviously not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. So you're actually, by future casting some pretty bad stuff, then you are going to make them get off their backside. And I think we'll have one and I'll show you. This is sort of like Hey Hey Saturday, where Daryl will say something and then the guy upstairs will get it on. Remember that? Yeah, I'm trying to get that to happen here, if we can.
It's coming.
Is it coming? Okay. Yeah. So therefore, Dietrich can ask you, when you are quoting to these people, do you actually give them what life would be like if they don't use you?
Just show them the amount of money they lose for delaying the project.
But is it done in a theatrical sort of way? So that's what we're talking about here. If you show mum, dad, boy, girl, dog at the front gate and dad disappears, he morphs away, and then the copy says something about how would your family be? Would it be destitute if dad happened to not come home tomorrow? Then bang. And the ad that I'm about to show you here, it was an ad that I put together for Real Insurance to sell. They have a call centre, and I said to them, okay, what we'll do is we'll future cast. And we've got 5 boys and 1 girl. And do you think the girl who's in her 20s, do you think she's spoiled by dad? Of course she is. So I've got gazillions of photos of Nicole, my daughter. The boys, I think I've got 2 photos. Okay, so therefore the thing is, I got those photos and created this ad that you're about to see. And it's basically, we ran it and we had to stop the damn thing. It went, and you'll see why if we can, if we'll just get that up. So here it is here.
Miracle from heaven.
Take that back.
She's your miracle from heaven. You promised to look after her till the end of time. Your love for her is real. Your hopes for her are real. And your dreams for her are real. Should you die unexpectedly, her shattered dreams would be real. Your family's financial stress would be real. Remember that promise you made all those years ago to look after her forever? Now's the time to get life insurance. Protect your family. Call Real Insurance on 1300 136 820.
Do you think the switchboard was jammed with people crying their eyes out? I told them, don't worry about me dying, I'll come back again. It was tough moving that damn rock. It was a big rock. Yeah, so that's future casting. And Dietrich's, you have to die, I'm sorry. Yours would be different, but you've got to show them what life would be like in a dramatic theatrical way, which that was, of course. That's cost 20 cents to put together. It was just a photo album, for God's sake. We put some music. I had Elton John's music behind it, Circle of Life, but he wanted too much money, so we had to go with what we call production music. But yeah, so you've got to future cast. And you may, there's lead generation offers, and then there's conversion offers. And Darren and I play with both of them. And it may well be that you need a conversion offer, because if your hit rate is, someone was telling me 1 in 12 there a moment ago, and that's not a good hit rate. Okay, obviously it depends on what your lead costs are. But I had a company recently who is a bedding company, and they said to me that they had a 1 in 10 hit rate from Facebook, and a 1 in 12 hit rate. And all they wanted was more leads. And I said, who does the calls? He said, I do it. I said, well, that's no use. That'd be like me and Darren taking all the calls in our business. If you're in the ideas business, you get a few calls, okay? Everyone wants ideas, right? Because I'm sure that if you go to a barbecue and you are a physiotherapist or electrician or plumber, people don't ask you could you fix the toilet because it's been broken. I go to a barbecue, they find out what I do, I'm backed up against the corner. Oh, would you have an idea for this, have an idea for that? And that's when you fake the heart attack, you know. So therefore, what, yeah.
I just had an idea.
Oh God, here we go, Gail's got an idea. Gary, you better turn around, she's going to show off.
I can't remember the air conditioning mob. What was the mob in Brisbane that
Yeah,
time?
good point.
Okay.
Good point. Okay,
There you go.
thank you very much, Gal. I love you so much. She wonders why I'm trying to have an affair. She's trying to steal my thunder here. Yeah, this is a good one for you guys. Okay,
That's on
John
video.
Roll. Here in Brisbane, company, husband and wife owned it. They were doing, I had about 12 staff, and they were doing, it was 8 or 9 mil. It was a decent business, and they were in your game, yeah. And but they were putting in home automation systems. And so therefore, you know, you can make sure the lights come on and off whenever you want because it's going to save 20% on your power bill. But it's residential. And they were after high-end builders, Sanctuary Code sort of builders, okay? And these home automation systems, when I'm in their office, I said to them, well, you know, how much do they cost? They said, oh, it could be anything, 20, 30, 40 grand, you know better than I do. And I said, what's your margin? That's the first question, because then you can turn things into Happy Meal toys, remember? And they said, oh, about half of that is profit. I said, what? They said if it's a $40,000 home automation system that the big builder buys to put in the 3-story mansion in Sanctuary Cove, out of that 40 grand to make about 20. I said, you make Ned Kelly look like a gentleman, you know. So I said, well, you've got good margin. Would you be willing to give up 10% of your sale price if I could double or triple your business? And they said, yeah, of course you would. And Gary, we'll just do a pan around. Would you be willing to give up 10% of your sale price if we could double your business?
Yeah.
Well, they're active lot, aren't
Gary,
they?
can I just come in front of that? You're just watching Facebook Live.
Is it Josh?
Yeah, but we do it in a minute. Just can you put it
He's watching.
we are here today with, I don't know, what, about probably 20, maybe 25 people, all of whom have suffered strokes, a whole lot of them. You can see there's no movement here. Let's just try that again. Who would be willing to give up 10% of your business if we could double, 10% of your sale price if we could double your revenue?
Yes!
See?
Oh, I'll do that again. Come on.
Yeah.
Hands up.
Yeah. I am Jesus Christ because I've just got these people who couldn't move. They couldn't move previous to that. Now they're putting hands in. So anyway, the thing is that I said to this husband and wife, okay, well, how about we do this? Your high-end builders, okay, would they like to go to Vegas? And he said, what? What's that got to do with the price of fish? I said, no, would they like to go to Vegas? He said, yeah. I said, good, okay. Well, what we'll do now is that we will give all of the high-end builders on the Gold Coast and Brisbane the opportunity that every time they spend $10,000 with you, they get a Vegas convention point. And I pulled this out of my ass, by the way. I was just making this up on the spot. So he's going, what next? I don't know. Just give me a second, would you? And then I said, okay, so therefore for every $10,000, they get a Vegas convention point. And then they save up 10 Vegas convention points, which means they spend 10 times 10 grand, which is 100. What would they normally make out of the 100? 50. 10 grand of that 50, which is 10% of the 100, goes towards them and their wives going to Vegas for a once-a-year convention. And the only reason you make it a convention is because you don't want to make it sound like a junket when in fact it's a junket, okay? And then the convention, they go over on the Thursday, they come back on the Monday, and the convention is Saturday morning 9 to 11. Okay, so it's a junket, all right? But it's disguised as a convention. Why do you want to disguise it, and you would? Why do you, and you just do it at the Versace probably, you know? You can do it wherever you want, Whitsundays, whatever you want to do. Okay, we've done this time and time again, because this idea that I pulled out of my ass did actually work like crazy, so therefore I've just milked it now. So therefore, let me ask you this, why do you want to turn this into a convention instead of just, I'll buy stuff from me and I'll give you a free trip? Why do you want to turn it into a convention?
Tax deduction.
No, not tax deduction, tax deduction anyway, so what you've got a shot at that?
Sounds better.
Sorry?
It sounds better.
Sort of, almost, you're going to almost get the money.
Seems something of more importance.
Absolutely, both of you. Can we give both of them $1 million, if you don't mind, Jackie?
Yeah.
The reason for that, turn that around. I'm only joking, I'm joking. Not getting $1 million. Monopoly money, yeah. The reason is because you don't want it to look like a junket, when in fact it really is, because Dietrich is dealing with guys who have a board, or they have a committee, a management committee. And they want to be able to say to him, oh look, they want to be able to say to that committee, oh look, we're getting, what's the name of the company again? Opto. We're getting Opto to do it because they're the very best. And by the way, because they're doing a great job, they're actually inviting me as the chief executive to go to their national conference at the Versace or Whitsundays, and it's coming up in November. So does anyone have a problem with that? But if they said, oh look, we're going with Opto because me and the missus are off to Vegas, well that's a totally different thing. So you want to turn the actual Happy Meal toy into a training event like a convention. But the convention, I mean, look, the radio stations do I spend a bit of money on radio. Gail and I have been to just about everywhere you can possibly think of around the world on the radio station. And when you get there, you know, where was it? New Caledonia, Fiji, where did we go? Kuala Lumpur. The actual, you fly over on the Thursday, you come back on the Monday, but the convention is Saturday morning from 9 till 12.
That was it. We went, we sit down and have a little chat.
So you do that and watch what happens to your conversions, because if you get this going and you've got a good lead gen happening, then you just use something like that as a conversion. That's one of many, okay? Well, listen, thanks guys. Can I just ask you, Dietrich, has this 15 minutes or so, remember you're on Facebook Live here, has this changed your life?
I need to shut this down and start again?
I think so, yeah, I think really, look, I don't know what it's like to be a failure, but I know all of you people have probably been down there. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Okay. We've got time for one more. I think we've got one more, have we? Okay, who do you want to do that we see? This one? Come on then. Okay, so therefore, John? For what is it? KPHF.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, well, that's good. Well, you're good. You're good. So pop one up.
You're in the hot seat.
No worries.
Okay, so can you explain to everyone what your business is?
What?
Yep. Will we get that microphone on? Is it all?
Yeah, it should be on.
Yeah. Now it's on. We are one of the local fitness clubs, health clubs in Kangaroo Point. We cater for a lot of the older generation in the area, but we do have a lot of younger people that come through. We have a fully equipped gym, swimming pool, hit locker, which is high intensity interval training area.
High intensity animal training?
Yeah. Well, they are a bit of animals when they come out of it.
No, what I didn't hear, but what is it?
High intense interval training.
Interval.
Interval training.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Okay.
So that's what they specialise in. This is where I started with the company just this year in January 2nd, and looking at trying to update the website at the moment.
Good. Okay. And you're managing the business, are you?
I'm the middleman, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And but are you employed by them or are you an agent?
I'm contracting.
Okay.
I'm not. There's no full-time staff there. Okay. I do have 3 PTs that work there. We have an exercise physiologist, on-site physio there twice a week, and also Fit College, which trains personal trainers.
Okay. Right. Whilst yes, the website can be discussed in a second, but the main thing would be to get more members. Is that right?
Yeah. So as you see it now, if you saw this website, there would have been one addition I've made, which is the free Visit Pass, which I've just created to entice people to come in, try before they buy.
Yep.
But I've only added that up on Thursday.
Okay. And can we just click on that, if you don't mind? Just have a quick visit that, because they're free visit this one up here, mate.
Yeah, it does need to be adapted, but
no, that's right.
I'm starting with Imperfect Action.
Yep, no, that's right. Okay. Now, who thinks that you can't read that because it's too busy? Like straight away, that's the wrong thing. Okay, so therefore, when you're putting type onto a website, try not to use reverse type, particularly a reverse type even against a black background is a no-no, but certainly against something that's as busy as that would be no one would read that. They wouldn't read it. Okay. And I've done it because we've done lots and lots and lots of tests, so I'm not wanting to sound like a know-all without having done tests, but no one would read that. Okay, so let me see, we can group point health, we help you to reach your health and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so even though I've mentioned about the type being over, very busy graphics, a 3-visit multi-pass, so what, we sort of get the, hang on, is that for free?
Yeah, that's for free.
Okay, so we know it's for free. Would you get that for free then? I'd think, well, you've got to buy that. Is there anything on there? Am I missing something? Where's the word free? Okay, see? So there you go. So if it says Elvis found, you're going to get my attention, okay, outside the news agency. Then underneath that, at 7-Eleven on the Gold Coast, right? Yeah. So heading, subheading. In this instance here, we've got a heading that tells us it's not for free, and you only find out it's free way down here.
Oh, when they click on it, on the thing, it has free through Visit Pass.
That's on the menu bar.
That's on the menu bar. So when they first get it,
Okay.
it says free capital letters, then 3 visit pass.
Okay.
I have been using what we have at the moment.
Yeah. But nonetheless, what I would suggest would happen here, it would say free, or sorry, and even whether you call it multi-pass, get your free multi-pass for 3 visits or something. Just turn that into really plain English, because we know that people are time poor when they're jumping on websites. They've got 3 others open. Yeah. So okay, so the guys here have got an AFL training clinic down in Melbourne, and they're wanting to turn that from just teaching kids how to kick the ball, you know, at night time after school or what have you. They want to actually add to that and make it an online business. And so they will have a, you know, silver and gold and bloody platinum membership, whatever it might be, and the kids get a certain amount of modules, video training modules and so forth. And I was just saying to them, aside from doing things like get the Herald Sun newspaper, the Sunday Herald Sun newspaper involved and actually get them to hand out free membership, just make every single kid in the AFL a free member. Just make it. So this gym here, I wouldn't just be doing that, that's fine to do it. I would be putting a beautiful gold pass, looks like an American Express black card, into every letterbox within 12 kilometres or 15. That's it. So when there's people say to me, oh, well, we've got free membership and no one's saying it, it's because they've just put it on their website. Or maybe they've just advertised on Facebook. We know that the 90% of people who go to this place, Kangaroo Point, would be within 10 kilometres of Kangaroo Point, would it be fair to say?
Or even less than that, it's high.
Yep. So therefore what I would be doing is that I would be going to do this. Facebook, yeah, sure Facebook, but even aside from Facebook, I'd be having a door hanger, looks like that, and it would have on there, and this would look like the Hilton Hotel. This is like the Sheraton, okay, BMW. And because it is, you want to make sure that this looks as really valuable. How much would it cost normally to come to 3 visits? Because I didn't see that up there.
If it was a casual, it would be $45 for 3 visits.
45 to okay, yeah. So therefore, this would have on there, okay, and would have, you may have, you know, the magazines when they put something on the front cover, there's a bit of a blue tip. So it may well be that you've got a beautiful, you know, VIP card there. And I know money doesn't grow on trees, so to take this for what it's worth, you'd have to fine tune it depending upon your budget. But this would have something like, you know, in David Jones' language, your free VIP pass for 3 visits, worth $45, okay? And then on the flip side, that's on their door, by the way. So you get Airtasker or you get uni students. If it's in the letterbox, you know you're in that with Big W. So the thing is that although Facebook is fantastic, it's a direct mail, as we know, down because our vintage, I mean, we grew up on it. Direct mail is still very powerful if you get it right. And you know, the thing is that door hangers are just incredible. For real estate listings, it's insane. For this, it would be, I think, just as insane.
What about for high-rise buildings that you can't get into the...
Yeah, well, yeah, okay.
No, because that's a lot of the area, Kangaroo Point especially, has about 20 high-rise and they're building more and more.
Yeah,
so
look, there are some privacy issues with that, and so therefore it probably wouldn't work there, because in the old days, before, you know, having, you know, zip cards to get through buildings and stuff, you just put them under the door of each of the units or apartments, but you can't do that now, I understand that. But nonetheless, residential, normal areas, you probably find Airtasker. Anybody use Airtasker at the moment? Okay, so you know, that's seniors that are, you know, just do things for you for like a crazy low price, or uni students. Because if you go to a letterbox company, they won't put that on the door, because the ladies who are contracted by PMP or Salmo, the big letterbox company, no, there's now station past the gate, we don't go anywhere near it. And so therefore their work health and safety won't do that. But if you get uni students to do it, that's a whole different story. There's a way around it. Or even Gail. Gail doesn't do much of an afternoon, so Gail will probably do the letterbox.
Right.
It's not like she's got 6 millennial kids to, you know, listen to all their problems. Okay, so in terms of, I won't sketch this one out, but we'll go through it, okay, because we're tough on time. Who thinks that what they're seeing there at the moment is motherhood imagery? In other words, imagery that you'd get on iStock, and it's sort of not really making you feel I've got to go to the gym. It's just motherhood. Thank you for the one response.
Definitely. Well, when the mother figure pops up, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what to say about you people. I've got no idea. So is that with the one with the play button there? Is that a video?
Yeah, that's a video. It has them fixing up areas and showing. It's a tour, a virtual tour of the gym.
Okay. Can we just click on? Sorry, that's not all right.
Wait till it comes back.
Use the arrows.
Use the arrows. Okay. what is that? Because it looks like a work in progress.
Yeah, that's what we call our wellness room. It's also where Vic College, they do the classroom.
But it's your wellness room, but it's under construction?
No, it's not anymore. This is, personally I don't understand why they have that in there. That's what it looks like now, finished.
Okay, so therefore, let's just, we don't do this anymore. So therefore, who thinks it's a wise move to get that image out of there that's under construction? Yeah. That'd be like, you know.
Watching your hotel being built.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This website probably has not been touched for about 2 years.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Even the SEOs and everything else.
And you know what? Look, yeah, we can be smart Alex about that and go, oh yeah. But that's what happens. You guys are busy working in your business, and that's the way it is. You don't have external people that would just fix this in a heartbeat. I mean, the reason I am doing this sort of stuff is to prove to you how fast, if you hang around the right people, how fast this shit can happen. None of this bullshit about 6 months to get a website. That's ridiculous, you know. We had one yesterday at lunchtime. The guy said, I need a new landing page. It was ready. I got it done in the Philippines, so 2 hours behind us. It was ready at 5:30 this afternoon. Like, it doesn't have to take that long. Okay, so therefore, that video that you've got there, can I ask, you know, what are the results that most people would think are stunning? What are the results that you get from you guys versus someone else? And I know you'll say, well, we're just another gymnasium, but are you?
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
We have, the thing is, I'm working there because I see a lot of potential with the club, and the way that the website is, and even from this morning's session, that 3 Visit Pass is getting a total makeover this week. It's live there, but no one knows it's there.
Yeah, of course.
But after what I saw this morning, I'm going to be treating that and also doing another homepage in the background to show the boss that that's something that.
So who is your most profitable customer? Female, obviously?
Female, yeah.
Female, and she's aged?
She's aged 40 plus.
Okay, so if you look at that, I know that we've played the video there. Does anyone see a female 40 plus all over that homepage? No. Crazy, crazy stuff, okay? So therefore, you've got to identify your most profitable customer and then look for more people who look like them. So you would have her up here, okay, and she's 40 plus, and it's not a statement from her. I do err on the side of statements, and that's why on both our websites we've got gazillions of testimonials, because we can wrap it up here forever and you can say, you know, you can be sceptical and go, hopefully not too sceptical, because we're actually showing you real case studies, but if you just wrap it on, you go, oh yeah, well, you're up yourself. But if you actually show real case studies followed up with real case video testimonials, it's pretty hard to make that stuff up. So I do err on the side of people raving about your business because they're pretty powerful. I mean, you know, Alan, where you are, okay? You would probably, in the short time that you've been around our thing, say to people that it was a worthwhile investment, wouldn't you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
If you want to grow your business, you talk to JD.
Yeah, so there you go, okay? I'll pick you up about 50 later on.
Okay.
Okay, so therefore, I would probably have a lady here saying something like, and what's their main aim? To tone up, to lose weight, what is it normally?
With the area, they just want to maintain their fitness. A lot of them are 40 plus, where there are a lot of retirees in the area, and I've only just spoken to them, they want to be able to just maintain where they are and to keep up with grandkids.
Yep. Good. So therefore, this could be her showing a photo. She's got her hands around a photo, and she's saying, this is what I used to look like just 3 months ago, and now she looks like Miranda Kerr, okay? So I know you can't use that on Facebook because they don't like before and afters, but you can certainly do that on your page. So if you get them to the page, if that's what your target audience want to do, they want to actually tone up and look like $1 million within a short period of time, like who doesn't? Then that's what you would do. You know, the headline up here from her saying, I lost X kilos and I've been able to be in the best shape of my life in just 11 and a half weeks. And it's because I've gone to this program, blah, blah, blah. And then instead of having a video where you've got it, like there's a million sliders on here, who would sit there and watch all those sliders? You know, I'm not a great fan of sliders because I don't know of anyone that goes, oh yeah, number 4, number 5. No, we don't sit there, we're scrolling, we're going past. So to have anything more than 2 sliders is a cardinal sin, and not even 2. I just simply go with your big headline here, and you know, a few dot points of the benefits that you can offer people, and then what I do is simply have your video, okay, or over here or over there, doesn't really matter, but then you'd have your benefit-driven headline. You'd have to watch the video. Why do we always have a bubble, cartoon bubble saying watch the video?
Bring their attention to it.
Yeah, we want them to watch the video, yeah. And so therefore then you do the same stuff, basically the same format. So therefore you've got a free report, which you don't have any data capture on there at the moment, do you?
No, that's part of the reason why the 3 visit pass, even that's inadequate. We do have the contact us, but it doesn't have anything else. So part of, we don't capture virtually any details of anything. I'm trying to change that.
But you can see what I mean. If you are in a subscription model like this, and I don't know what the average stay rate is, but if you're in a subscription model where you've got a good annual income coming in, just give them the first month for free. Do whatever you have to do, because that cost of, particularly when it's not costing you any money but fresh air, and in these guys' instance it will be the same because it's a digital product. Just give the world free membership. Just give the world free membership, because I had a property development mob. Well, it was called the Property Club, and what they do is that they basically encourage people to become part of their program, and they teach them how to invest in real estate. And they said, oh, we've got 80,000 members, but only 10% of them are active, and in other words, buy real estate. And I said, what's your aim? They said, oh, we want to get more members. I said, good. How many do you want? They said, well, quite a few. I said, well, what, 200,000, 300,000? So whatever you want, I'll get next week for you. And I'm being smart aleck in their boardroom, of course, and they go, what? Because they're advertising on TV, become a member of the Property Club, we'll show you how to invest in housing, and we'll show you where the hot suburbs are. So you don't want to be doing that. You're only after 40 plus people with 20% equity in the home, because they're the people who can get a loan. I went, yeah, I said, good. We know where they live. It's called geodemographic profiling, and every 4 years the census data that goes out will tell you where all those people live. They'll tell you the streets. That census data will tell you that in these streets, that 60% of the street are age 40, you've got 20% equity in their home, so I just said to them, you tell me how many you want, and we'll put a beautiful credit card, like a beautiful membership card, in an envelope in their letterbox, and we'll say, congratulations, you have been selected as now free membership of the Property Club. And we'll drop 200,000 amount. You have 200,000 members, bang, like that. And 200,000 are not going to activate it, you know that. But even if only 10, 20, 30% of them activate it. So in your instance, anything like this, where you're giving away fresh air, for God's sake, just make the whole world a member.
We are I've started Groupon, where they pay $19, they get a month for free. They sign up as a member. I get all their details. They get treated like a member right from the very beginning. Good. Even to the point where if they have to let us know before that time's up if they don't want to continue.
So it's automatic.
So once that goes past that date, on that day they will get charged for membership from then on.
And what's the churn rate on that?
I've only just started it last week.
The only thing I'd be careful of, a Groupon person is not a real person.
No.
Okay, so we've got millennials and they live off Groupon. They are the worst customers that hairdresser ever wants to have, because my daughter has been to 64 hairdressers just in the last 12 months because she chases Groupon, okay, or Cudo or Scoopon, whoever it is. They are the worst customers you can possibly ever have, because they're buying on price. You don't want anyone buying on price. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but you've got to be careful because they're not a good customer.
At the moment, that's it. Yeah. We don't have anything else. I'm working on a zero budget. Yeah. And that was something that...
Yeah, it was a quick fix, but you've got to be careful. Yeah, no pain.
And I realised that I've had a good experience with Groupon in the past, where a company I was dealing with, that's all they did. Every single person I ended up having with my business from Groupon stayed.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, if you've got...
but that's a different... Same industry, just different context.
Crazy part about hair salons that have Groupon, feeding customers to them, is that they will not collect the data, still, would you believe, to get them back at full tariff. And restaurants are the same. I mean, we have a number of restaurants on board who have built their business, so they say, on Groupon. And I go, well, give me the Groupon database so we can have a look at that. And no, they've not collected it. The person, they've just come in and got the Groupon deal, and they don't upsell because they've never collected data.
Yeah, so that's what the 3 visit multi-pass is.
Good, mate. Well, congratulations. Thanks for being a good sport. Yeah. Okay, before I hand over to Darren, any last minute questions before we turn Facebook Live off? Any questions? Any questions? Anybody want to give any compliments?
You're fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
He's doing a great job with the video.
Yeah, Gary's doing a great job with the video. So we'll leave it at that. But thanks, Facebook. You want to say goodbye to Facebook Live people?
Bye.
Yeah. Okay, Darren is a man of many words. Okay, so thanks, guys, and see you later, guys, on Facebook. Okay. So